Brian Johnson here with my co-host,
Angela Dunley. We're glad you could all join us this morning.
We hope everyone had a spectacular spring break and even a better week back at school.
It has been a busy week as students get back into the swing of things.
With all the spring and all the activities come to the semi-annual Student Council blood drive. Students signed up all this week to donate blood Wednesday, April 2nd. If you would like to donate, make sure you sign up in the cafe during your lunch block or talk to Mrs. Ryan by the end of today.
Hey Brian, awesome job at Variety Show. I've been meaning to tell you how lovely your voice is.
Thanks, Angela. Did you enjoy the variety show?
You bet. I loved it. That 60s theme was great.
I wish I could have seen the whole thing.
Well, it's your lucky day, Brian. Bailey Anderson was capturing all the 60s commotion for those of you who missed it.
What does the auditorium, the chorus students, and the 60s all have in common?
The Variety Show!
Every year, there's a different theme for the variety show, and this year's was the 60s. With that, there's a lot of work and preparation that the director has to do to get the students prepared and ready for it. Also, because the variety show has been a long-standing tradition here at WCHS, it was necessary to make a few alterations to that tradition. What changes did you make to the variety show this year?
Well, the boosters and I decided to try it in the auditorium as opposed to the gym, and mostly it was just because we have this awesome space and such good equipment, we thought we'd just try it.
How did you get your students prepared for the swing of the 60s?
Well, we decided to do little research project posters on it, so everybody took their own 60 character and we made a poster and had presentations, and it was a lot of fun.
How did you choose the theme for the variety show?
I looked at the students that we have this year and thought about what they hadn't done in a long time and just thought that the crazy music of the 60s and these students was a perfect match.
Although there are a couple new changes made this year, the variety show still included acts from every grade's choir, show choir, jazz vocal, and group or individual acts.
My favorite part would have to be hanging out with all the girls and working really hard, a lot of out-of-school time, and just having fun with the whole thing.
My favorite part was just watching all the acts and, of course, the outfit.
My favorite part of the variety show is being with Sarah.
Well, for the variety show, I was an MC. It was pretty fun. Script was kind of hard since it had to be in the 60s and have a lot of slang from there. But other than that, I worked with great people.
From setting up the risers, planning the show, and making the set, this collaboration of young musicians have prepared for weeks to sing harmoniously for your entertainment. If you weren't there, you missed out on a great show.
I'm Bailey Anderson reporting for Wctv, and I got to get ready for my next big debut.
Wow, we sure were groovy.
Yeah, you betcha, Brian. You in particular, you really caught my attention.
Whoa, Angie, we're on air. I'm not into PDA.
Holding hands, Brian, that's not inappropriate. Get with the times.
I don't know, Angie. According to Allison Tyndall, some of the lovely stuff may be borderline inappropriate. Just pay attention to this next feature.
When you enter high school, you often meet new people and form new friendships. Sometimes these friendships blossom into something beautiful. True love. When high schoolers discover true love with their significant other, they often feel they need to express this love no matter where they are. Sometimes, this expression of love can lead to the crossing of a line, often disregarded by those with a special someone. When they cross this line, they enter the land of inappropriate PDA. PDA, short for public display of affection, is when two people with eyes for only each other display their love to everyone that happens to see. Not all PDA is inappropriate, but some PDA just isn't acceptable in the halls of WCHS. What do students consider inappropriate?
I think that making out and grabbing inappropriate parts in front of teachers and in front of friends is really inappropriate. And
spooning should not be allowed.
Just being over emotional to each other or showing too much emotion is really inappropriate.
According to Mr. Elkin, some PDA don'ts would be things like kissing and being over affectionate towards each other. Some PDA do's, however, would be things like holding hands and friendly hugging. These do's are things people and teachers around WCHS don't mind witnessing, but the don'ts can become an issue if they are seen in the halls or any other part of the building. Why are they an issue, and what are the consequences for displaying them?
Basically not appropriate for a school setting. I mean, we're an academic institution that promotes the mind, not the body, and We're not like a bowling alley where people want to see that thing at school. Basically, I would say if a couple had issues with PDA, we would probably, whether it's me or a teacher or somebody else, an adult in the building, would probably address the situation and explain to them it's not really appropriate for school setting. And if it continued after that, there could be disciplinary action, which we would hope to avoid just by talking to them.
If you feel the urge to show your true love how you feel, keep it rated G to avoid those nasty consequences and to avoid distracting anyone. If you do, everyone will be happy, including that special someone. I'm Allison Tyndall for WCTV telling you to stay out of inappropriate PDA land. It's not fun, is it, you three?
I guess you were right, Brian. I don't want to end up in timeout.
Me neither. That's not where I want to spend my free time.
Speaking of free time, you might be surprised at some of the interesting things students do out of school free time. Carl's been catching up on what these crazy kids have been doing.
Carl! Carl!
When the homework is done and the chores are finished and all your responsibilities are taken care of, how do you spend your time?
Hang out with my friends, right? I like to work and take walks.
I worked at the local fairway.
I played badminton, synchronized swimming, and the goat wrestling team.
I like to break things.
Gotta go.
I like to play video games.
I go home and ride my dirt bike on the sidewalks.
When the last bell rings at 3:13, students participate in a wide array of activities. These activities range from athletics, like weightlifting and sports, organizations like FFA and Club Life, or video games. Nick Brim participates in all categories.
I participate in all sports, and I am in FFA, NHS, and NCYL, and I also like to play video games.
How do parents feel about out-of-school activities?
I think they're great. I think it helps teach time management for when you're older.
I think they're fine.
I usually spend about an hour or two on a practice after school, and then about an hour on lifting after school, and then I usually play video games all night.
Be it athletics, organizations, or video games, activities are a great way to get involved and make a lot of friends at WCHS. This is Carmel for WCTV. I'm going to get involved in my own activity.
Maybe we should get together this weekend and wrestle some goats.
Sounds like a plan.
We would like to wish good luck to everyone participating in the solo and ensemble contest tomorrow.
Have a great weekend.